Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today. You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
You've got goals for your small business. That's why now's the time to level up your marketing with Constant Contact. With powerful tools to find and connect with new customers, manage your social posts and events, and send automated emails and texts, you'll stand out, stay top of mind, and see results fast. Constant Contact's cutting-edge technology makes marketing easy so you can focus on running your business. Start achieving your small business goals with a free trial at ConstantContact.com today.
BooBaes.
BooBaes. Hi.
Hello and welcome
To
BooBaes.
BooBaes.
That's right. We're your host. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Joshua.
Dr. What?
Thunder.
Oh, okay. And I'm drinking a Coca-Cola today.
And a Coca-Cola. Not brought to you by Coca-Cola or Dr. Thunder, but if they wanted us to bring it to you,
We could.
we could do so. And today we're going to be talking
Mine's flat
about...
because it's
Oh,
from
no.
yesterday.
I don't like a flat soda.
I think it all tastes the same. Not really.
Well,
it doesn't.
as there's a flat soda. As long as it's cold, like I can stomach through it. But like
It's still got a little fizzle.
yeah, and like a lukewarm, room temperature
Yeah.
flat soda.
No
ain't cutting
bueno.
it. Yeah. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about the Wretched.
The
If you,
Wretched.
I think we should leave that first part in
Mm-hmm.
too, where we were talking about it. I think that was all good stuff.
So if you're listening, you heard all that.
Yep. And even though we randomly started in the middle, it makes perfect sense for us. But yeah, The Wretched, 2019, directed by the Pierce brothers.
Yes.
Who are they?
I don't know, but they directed this movie called Deadheads in 2011, another movie called Drama.
Drama.
That's
drama.
I feel like that's kind of really it.
Okay. When it said the Pierce brothers, I was like, oh fuck, should I know who they are?
Because it makes it seem
It
as
feels
though,
so
like,
official. Like,
yeah,
like
but hey,
duh.
kudos to
Everyone knows
them.
the Pierce brothers.
Kudos to them.
The
But
Pierce
no.
brothers? You haven't heard of them? What? Like, yeah, no, I have no fucking clue who they are. But I had seen this movie. So I guess and this is the second time I watched it. I noticed it was like whenever it got to the 5 days ago part,
Yeah.
I went, oh, wait, I've seen this.
Okay.
I was like, I noticed pretty early on,
Like, right
the
into it.
moment the kid got off the bus and like went and was like trying to steal the candy and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, wait, no, I know this. I know this movie.
But also too, so the intro to the movie that happened 35 years ago, right?
Correct.
And then we flash forward, but flash back to 5 days ago.
Yes.
That kind of threw me off, but I get it. I get it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too, because
Okay.
then I forgot. I was just confused. Hello.
Yeah, literally, because until going over it today, because I watched this on Sunday, going over it back again, like over notes and like trying to like figure stuff out in the beginning, I was really confused because like at first for half of these notes, I thought this was all set back in 1985. And then when he has an iPhone, I'm like, wait, what the hell is going on?
They did not have iPhones in 1985.
I was so confused. So I missed the like 3-second shot
where it said
I
5 days ago
today, and it was like 5 days ago.
Yeah.
But that's also confusing to me because it's like, why would we start in 35 years ago?
And then not go to present day.
But it'd be 5. Yeah, it was. Anyways.
And it's, I guess, all because they had to show us that it was leading up to the official part. But I feel like it should have just said present day.
Yeah,
and
then
just
start from the beginning of the story. Like, why do we have
not have said 5 days ago?
Yeah.
That was a little... Like you said, 14-year-old did it and was like, let's add some depth.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of feels like when you're cooking in the kitchen and you maybe add an extra ingredient that doesn't even do anything for the plate or the palette of the dish, but it's
like me
just,
and black pepper.
But it's just like for pizzazz. But it didn't land well.
Yeah.
But anyways, like we said, we are starting off though at the beginning of this movie with the title credits and a Kylie. It sounds like Kylie Minogue, but I don't think it's her. But it's like a very pop, like
it's very 80s
synth.
music.
Yeah. Not really setting the vibe for me for like a horror movie. But
no, I was like, wow, this is, I mean, it had like strewn about toys and some rain coming down, and that looked all like kind of ominous, but then it was like, dun, 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 dun,
yeah, very upbeat.
Very happy, upbeat.
Maybe they were going for that. Maybe
yeah.
Like the complete antithesis of what was about to happen.
Yeah.
Because we come in, it says,
and I mean, the girl
ago,
was listening to it on her headphones.
Yeah.
So it was fitting because it was in the 80s and she was a teenager listening on her Walkman. And, you know, she was just jamming out.
Yeah.
So I get why they went with that music. Yeah.
It could have been some Metallica. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she's just into heavy metal.
But she gets to this house and she's gonna be babysitting. As she comes in though, and she's like, you know, like, hey guys, hello, I'm here. Nobody answers to her.
Yeah, it's like a seemingly empty house.
Yeah, which is really weird off the bat. That should be red flag number 1. And then she does see that the landline, because this is 1985 area-ish, is off the hook. Yeah. Like just,
and
you know.
You can hear the dial tone like.
That noise.
Beep, 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 beep,
I don't know what that's called.
Beep, beep, beep,
just left off the hook?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just beeping.
Yeah, it's not the dial tone.
Yeah.
Because that's.
But she just hangs it up and then proceeds to call her mom.
Yep.
And I'm just like, okay, that's not weird at all.
Yeah.
And so calls her mom and it's just like, hey, I'm here. And the mom's like, oh, are you with your boyfriend? And she's like, no, I'm not with my boyfriend. I'm babysitting.
I wish I was.
Yeah. I wish I was sucking dick.
Yeah. And the mom is like, Becky.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what her name was.
I
just know that
credits,
Mark was the boyfriend's name. Because the mom gave her grief about him.
And she ends up just getting off the phone with her mom because she hears a noise.
Yeah, a pretty weird sound.
Which also too, like, why would you hang up the phone? Why wouldn't you be like, hey, I came here, nobody answered me, the phone was off the hook, and now I heard a weird noise. Stay on the phone.
Yeah.
And if I don't come back or you hear screaming, like, hang up and call 911.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Brains.
Yes, she's a teenager. I guess
some people don't have them.
And so she ends up going to check out the noise, which everybody does in a scary movie.
Of course, you have to investigate.
She ends up. Is it at this point already that we do see the symbol on the door, or she goes downstairs?
I don't think we see the symbol on the door until the dad shuts
come back
it.
out. My bad. Yeah. Spoiler alert. But she ends up going down the stairs, and that's when she sees like a little doll.
Yeah.
And it's one of those creepy little dolls that you would love.
Yeah. I was like, oh, cute. No. But yeah, she's going downstairs. You can hear like something thumping in the dryer. I really thought like a baby or something was going to be in the dryer.
That probably would have been better.
Yeah. That's what I really thought it was about to go there, because it was something heavy. Like when you put a shoe in the dryer and it's like,
you hear it like clunking about. I hate that noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could hear that, and so then I was like, but then she comes upon this family photo with the dad scratched out over his little face.
Someone was pissed off.
Yep, someone was grumpy.
Mama's
and then
not
she
happy.
rounds the corner, and what does she see?
We see a creature-ish. We see a mom figure, but it's definitely not like just a regular human. There's like something like demonic about it.
Yeah, its back is hunched too much, like in a almost broken looking amount.
And it's eating a child.
Yep,
which
eating
is her
the
daughter.
little tummy of the girl she was supposed to babysit.
Because there's blood all over the floor. And it looks pretty bad.
Yeah, you can see, and then the little girl's just like moving, with her body being
as like
eaten.
as she's being masticated.
Yeah, masticated.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I like that noise.
Then Demon Mommy turns around though, and she says, "You're next, bitch."
Literally, and she goes after her.
Just
It's like in all those movies, whenever like they build up the suspense and then the demon just like,
yep, scurries across.
Very Mama. Oh, whenever the little girl comes over the floor. Yeah, that's a better even representation than what I was thinking of. I couldn't even think of it. The name. It's going to come to me.
Middle of the thing, you'll yell out another word.
But she is chasing after her, and she runs towards the stairs. She's going to try to go up, but as soon as she turns the corner and looks up the stairs, we see that the dad is essentially up there, and she's like, looking at him, and she can tell like he's like gonna close the door, and she's like, no, don't help.
Yeah.
And he ends up slamming the door shut, and we just hear like her screaming, and there's
a bunch of scuffle.
Yeah, and there's a symbol on the door.
Yep.
At this point,
and it's
we
like
don't know what it
V
is.
with a line through it. It looks like a little deer,
but to where like the ends of the V make horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little antlers of the deer.
There you go.
It's like a V wearing a dash for a little hat, but not to make a triangle.
Cute little hat.
Yeah.
We'll post it. Will we? I don't know, but we'll post it. And so we get some credits as we then go over to like a dream sequence of someone getting drowned. And then we wake up and it's what's his name? Ben, right?
Ben.
Yes. Ben was having that nightmare. He wakes up. And then I think this is where we get the little flash of like, this is 5 days ago or something like that.
Yeah, 5 days ago is what it said.
Yeah.
And Ben's on the bus, and his cast is like, he wakes up and this little old grandma looks over at him and says like, "You're quite the artist, aren't ya?" kind of thing. And then the little boy,
spoiler alert.
JK.
The biggest plot twist of this movie.
Yep. But Ben was like, okay.
Oh, yeah, thanks, bitch. Like, fuck off.
It just says like Ben on his
Mind your business. He's trying to get me a nap.
Your business.
And so that's whenever he essentially just tells her that, and it shows his cast and it says his name on it.
Yeah.
Which is like also
and that was it.
Who writes their own fucking name on their cast.
First one to sign his cast was himself.
Loser. And the only one, literally. I always wanted a cast, though. I've never.
You had to have someone sign it.
I just saw your nails.
Oh, they're fun, huh?
They're so pretty.
Ooh.
Let me see. Dude, those are cool.
They're like.
Those are like space, but pink.
And they also remind me of like infrared technology a little bit. Yeah,
you could like.
Stabby.
Yeah. Okay.
They've been dulled a little bit because I've had them for a few days now, so they're not as sharp as they were.
Look how the light catches them. They turn like green.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
They turn all sorts of rainbow colors.
I'm gonna explode because I want to wear nails like that.
Do it.
I can't.
Because of work.
Because of work. Yeah. I can't.
That's fair. You could get little short ones.
Okay, I'm done. I had to let the moment pass. All right, we're back in it. And so back to the cast. I always wanted to cast. I feel like I've never had the opportunity to break a bone, I guess, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I just thought they were so cool. And when someone would come to school with the cast and like everybody signs it and we like.
It's like a yearbook.
It only happened once, actually. So it's not like that happened all the time.
Yeah,
but
I don't think I had to
once
sign too many
someone.
casts.
Yeah. It was just one time. And then I was like in the 5th or 6th grade. But yeah, it was Kayla's cast. Shout out Kayla. Okay.
Shout out Kayla.
She broke her arm. Okay, I'll stop. And so we do have him then getting back home, and the biggest thing in my note is in big caps is Dad's fucking TV doesn't have an HDMI port.
Yep.
Because I guess he's visiting his father. He came all the way from
Which is like, yo, it's
whoever.
2019.
Yeah,
How do you not have an HDMI port?
It was like one of them big box TVs too. Like
real
not
old.
even.
Homeboy needed to get an updated TV.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's not watching a lot of TV.
Probably not.
Or just
he's
watching
at the
cable.
Marina a lot, or
Yeah.
fucking Sarah.
Yeah, that's true.
Some bitch who cooked dinner.
He's actually got the good TV in his room.
The good TV.
He won't let him go in.
That's true. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably so. And so he ends up, we do see that we're kind of getting all the parts of like, him looking at the fridge, and there's a picture, a family photo, and the mom is like folded, so we don't see her. So we obviously know that
she's like, that's weird.
His parents are separating.
The photo.
I guess.
I mean, unless he's just not ready to let go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't hang that up.
Just wouldn't even use the photo. Just like, no. Unless they don't have any photos of just them two together. But maybe then, like, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. I don't. Also, why does he have a picture of him and his son? I don't know. I feel like that's cool. That's great.
Yeah.
But I feel like not a lot of men do that.
True.
And
my
like
dad put pictures of us with him on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Things,
on the fridge.
I guess people do that.
Yeah.
Like guys used to walk around with pictures of their families in their wallet, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So my dad definitely had magnets with
everything
us on
that
it.
I just said. I don't stand by any of it. I've changed my mind. Okay.
Got it.
So the TV doesn't have an HDMI port.
TV doesn't have an HDMI port. Dad gifts him a bike.
And what was the dad making for food? Was the dad making food?
I don't know. He just had a beer.
That's right. Okay. And
they're
so
playing Connect 4.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the dad's out there, and he's just like, "Do you hear that? It sounds great." And it's just like
silence.
The silence, yeah. Which I agree. Sure, that's probably great. But that does come into play later on.
Yeah.
And also, I did think that it was weird at that point. I was like, why does he have Connect 4 like by himself?
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was playing with the dad.
I didn't put that to. I didn't think the dad was even playing with it. I thought he was literally just like
playing Connect 4 by himself.
With himself, like that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought he was playing with the dad, and the dad had just sat back for a little bit, and was waiting for the next move to be made.
But he was taking it all in,
shooting the shit.
Mm-hmm.
But we then see the neighbors out next door to them, and the dad says like, "Oh, they're vacationing," or probably because Ben asks, "Well, who are they?" And he says, "Oh, lots of vacation homes up here." So
he doesn't really know them that well, essentially implying,
that they're just some people who are
passing
here
through
like once a month or maybe, or 1 month out of the year is what I meant.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. But then we get to the marina, right?
Yeah, because Ben gets a job from, like, his dad set up for him to get a job at the marina. And he's working there. He ends up getting a call from his mom while he's working, which, like, Mom, why are you calling him while he's working? And she even is like, I know you've been working a lot, and like I'm like, well, duh, bitch, well, I'm at work right now.
I can't talk.
I can't talk. And she sounds really needy.
She did sound a little needy.
So needy. I'm just gonna.
So whatever she calls him in the store before he decides to go to the party.
Oh yeah.
Whenever she says something like, "Oh, I was starting to think you forgot about me" or something, and I was like, "Mom, God, come on."
It sounds,
Mom.
It sounds a little desperate. Yeah. But that's when, not us shaming his mom for wanting like love and affection from her child. And so the mom's talking to him. Also, as she's talking to him, she's asking him about his dad, and at the same time, he sees his dad kissing another woman.
Yep.
Which obviously is fine because they're separated, but it kind of sounded more like she was more like asking questions, as like when someone asks questions when they're still interested.
Yeah.
Like, how is your dad? Like, does he seem sad and lonely? Does he miss me?
Is he
implied? Like, she didn't say all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But he's obviously watching his dad mac on some other woman, and he's not going to be like, oh, he's fine. He's already,
He's already moved on, mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I'm going to call you back. And so that's whenever we do have it flashing to Dylan, right? And his mom, Abby, in the woods.
Well, we meet Mallory.
Oh, Mallory, that's
first,
right.
Which she's one of the main characters, kind of. We meet Mallory, his pseudo love interest, kind of things. Well, I guess she ends up being his real love interest at the end of it. And they're eating the Starburst too. That's right. Which he pulls the lemon, and she shits on him for lemon.
And you would love that.
I would love it. I was like, lemon Starburst are good. I do love the strawberry ones are my favorite.
That's why they make their own its own pack
of just strawberry.
Just strawberries.
You can buy that.
Yep, the pink ones. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's not popular, I think. But
yeah, those ones are good.
I really like the pink ones. I honestly, in terms of Starburst, I don't mind a yellow Starburst, but I really don't like a yellow
Skittle.
Ugh. No.
I love the yellow ones.
But I like a lemon head. So see, I don't know.
It's just random.
Yeah. Because there's a different flavor. Like a Skittle lemon is that's a different fake artificial lemon flavor.
Yeah.
Whereas a lemon head is a different type of
artificial
lemon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
I just want to go buy candy now. I love candy. I have candy at home.
Good.
I actually had bought sour gum worms, whatever, since that last podcast because of you.
Ah, good. I'm glad.
And so we're going back to.
But we do flash to
Oh,
after that though, we do flash to Abby and Dylan in the woods, and the mom's peeing.
Yeah.
In the woods.
Pissing. And loses. Right on top of her child.
Yep.
JK.
No. At this point, when mom starts peeing, she loses Dylan.
Yeah.
And we already know that they're lost too. And she was like, if you don't tell dad that we're lost, I'll let you DJ on the way back.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Not a good trade.
No.
To BH. But
it's that's so
also
unsafe.
Snitches
get stitches.
Stitches. Yeah, that one.
Got it.
Snitches get stitches. Isn't it laying ditches? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. All I know is snitches get stitches.
Well, poor Dylan gets murdered. So he got his comeuppance.
He does.
He does get she's calling out for Dylan as Dylan is lost, and he hears a voice that sounds like his mom, but it's not his mom, and it's coming from a fucking hole in the ground.
Yeah,
and of course
from this fake tree. And at first it sounds very sing-songy, like Dylan.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Dylan, and then all of a sudden it turns like Dylan.
If you don't get your ass over here,
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna spank you. Or something. It was like I'm gonna fucking kill you or something. It was very violent, and I was like, oh my god.
And he already could tell. He was like, that's not my mom. Yeah, because he's not going.
That's pretty spooky.
And then
think not.
He gets saved by the real mom, Abby.
Dylan's a smart kid. That's why I felt so bad when he actually died. I was like, God damn it, this poor kid. I liked him with a little Band-Aid on every finger.
Yeah,
what a kid.
Stood no chance.
Love that.
And so he ends up. They end up being okay. Whatever, it's fine. And so that's whenever we cut back to a house, which ends up just having this dad coming home, and he comes home with beer, and he's just looking at this fucking deer that's in their driveway in the truck, right?
Yep, yeah.
In the bed of the truck, and we go inside, and that's whenever the mom tells him that they hit the deer, right?
Yes, it's roadkill.
Yeah,
because he was like, you got a buck, and she was like, yep, and he was like, I didn't know you were hunting or something, and she was like, well, we hit it on the way back.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And she was like, it's good meat.
Yeah,
my dad and I would gut these things all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, ew.
And he didn't want her to do it, and I think he even said you're gonna give him nightmares or something like that.
Yeah, because she was like, Dylan and I are gonna go cut it up, and I was like, Dylan's 4.
Yeah.
Or 5. I don't know.
At least 7.
7. Dylan's 7.
Yeah.
And you're going to make him cut a deer with you? That's fucking weird.
I've seen things when I was about around those ages, but
yeah,
I get it though. I get it. I shouldn't have seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say, and look how fucked up you are now.
Literally. But I'm fun.
That's right, you are.
But I'm fun. And so what were we talking
moral
about?
of the story is
Trauma creates fun. People.
Gut deers in front of all your children.
Yes.
And make them help you.
Do it.
And make them hold your beer while you do it.
Mommy's beer.
Mommy's beer.
That's mommy's beer.
I was like, okay. This seems good. But
as she's trying to cut into the deer, she fucking cuts into the shit sack.
Yeah.
Which is not what you're supposed to do.
And all of its guts just come tumbling out.
All over her, especially the poop.
Yep.
And the bile.
And I love how Dylan goes, I don't think you did it right.
Yeah.
He was like,
so deadpan. And she's just like,
wrong.
Go inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like gagging, which low-key I was too.
I can only imagine the way it smelled.
Yeah.
I know that it stunk.
Had to have.
I know that it was smelliest of smells.
I love that they leave it there. That she's like, okay,
that's good enough.
We'll handle this later.
I'm done.
Yep.
Yeah. That called for a power washing like connector to your hose and just like thumb over it and just like power blasting that thing until like all the guts just like
obliterate.
Literally, yeah. What else can you do?
Yeah.
And also, there's a reason probably why she hit it. It probably was like sick and was deranged and dying, and that's why she hit it. And so it was
possessed by an ancient demon.
Exactly.
That needed to get home to
It was used as a vessel.
Yep, it really was. And then basically it flashes to nighttime and Ben's already, I think he's just out on the porch, just chilling, like up on that little rooftop porch, you know, that like little balcony. That's the word. Rooftop porch.
Because she just left that deer just there, right? Yeah. And so then that's whenever we do see it's nighttime and I don't think we said that something comes out of the deer. Oh, yeah. That was, I think Dylan watched him almost get it on before that comes out. Or maybe it doesn't. He's not watching them yet. I have that he is. Is he? Yeah. Oh, my bad. Maybe he is. Because I thought at this point, this was barely where he's like, he hears something on the roof. I think he was just outside and he was like looking around. Oh, okay. And it was just like, I think he was just chilling. I don't think he was actively watching them yet. This isn't the part when he has the binoculars, right? No. Oh, okay. No. Then I was writing a note and I missed this part. My bad. He's just looking over at them and then they're about to like get it on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not when they're actually getting it on. Gotcha. Okay. But they're normal still. And they're about to get it on and then the baby cries. That's right. And you see the dad have to get up and go away. And then, yes, that's when we see the creature start coming out of the deer, which I'm like, how did it hide? It's an ancient demon. It's fine. It's allowed to do whatever it wants. Yeah. It's voodoo. I don't know. It was the deer. Uh-huh. I mean, it fits inside people's. It was the deer, and it was possessing it. So. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then whenever it wants to unpossess it, it just comes out. Which also kind of sucked, though, because, like, I didn't feel like it wasn't possession like how in other movies someone gets possessed and then, like, if it leaves the vessel, then it just leaves. Like, this was, like, you're dead. Yeah. If it leaves you because it's, like, ripping your flesh apart. It comes out through your, like, stomach. Yeah. Which seems like a really, like... I think it has to even kill you before you get to that point. Yeah, because it's just using you as a skin dead suit. And you're just a little skin suit. Exactly. That sucks. Yep.
And then, yes, this is when Ben is hearing the footsteps above his room now.
This is scary because if I heard this, I'd be freaking out.
Because he's on like the second floor. And there, whenever he got outside, I was like, oh, fuck, there is no floor above him.
Mm-mm.
Yep. His room is the ceiling.
Yeah.
So.
And then also, too, like, that's just scary because you come up from your sleep and it was pretty realistic for me, at least how like it gradually he came out of his sleep and then he's like, wait, because at first you'd be like, what? And then you're like, huh? And
Wait,
then you're like,
oh no, something's above me.
Yeah. And then him going outside, very reminiscent of alien signs. Yes, signs, and how whenever the aliens were on the roof and then jumped off, and then it was like too fast. And so he's like, whoa, what the fuck was that? So he's kind of scoping out the area, and that's whenever he ends up somehow getting all the way to the neighbor's front porch area, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like looking underneath. I called it open porch underbelly.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to call it, but the area underneath the porch.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's where all the cats are born and everything, and possums and little things like that.
I used to play under there as a kid, and I got ringworm a lot because of playing under there. Yeah.
Probably because cats.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't have been under there. Well, but yeah, lots of things born under there, and apparently ancient demons as well, or at least that's a hiding spot. I love how he he looks down there and he sees a raccoon or something.
Yeah, it's like a
possum-y raccoon.
Something. But you're right. Mm-hmm.
But first. He sees that, but he missed the fucking ancient creature
right
on top of the porch. Like, nah.
Because that's what it'd be. That's how they. Maybe it's like also the magic, or I don't want to say magic. It's probably not magic, but like the veil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was pretty good at making itself look like shadow as well.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked the way it looked here. I was like, this looks pretty neat.
When I was watching this, I was thinking like, I don't know if Caitlin's gonna like this or not, because it's like a mix of like not showing it, but they do show it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it was pretty cool looking.
Okay.
And I like whenever, and I think I like it because it looks like human-esque, which it doesn't have to look human-y, like a humanoid figure.
Yeah.
But it looked believable and not like so silly. It wasn't silly.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel like anytime as well you use something that's more of like a shadow or like a silhouette. I mean, not shadow.
Yeah.
A silhouette of something, but you can't really see what it is. That's so fucking terrifying.
Yeah, that is. Because then again, it allows you to leave more to the imagination, which is what terrifies me.
Yeah. And so he ends up missing that it's on the front porch, just kind of watching him. Almost looks like it's going to attack. And then we have the dad coming out from the neighbor, which I do have his name. I ended up getting it like way later on. But okay.
Yeah, I don't remember.
At the moment, I can't remember.
I just call him Dad.
Yeah, literally. And then Ben's dad, for a moment, I was just calling him other dad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, his name's Liam.
I also just call him Dad.
Okay. Yeah, just dad all around, dad. But he comes out and he's like, the fuck can I help you? Because he's just like on his like property.
His
in
porch.
the middle of the night. And he's just like, oh, sorry. Like, I was just like,
thought I heard something.
Yeah, exactly. And so he ends up leaving. But that's whenever we do have
we cut to the next morning.
The next morning, yes.
And Dylan's going outside. He's playing with a stick or something, fighting off some evil demons. And he sees the hole and he's sitting there messing with it.
Yeah.
But then Ben's coming out to go to work, and then he's like, hey, I don't think you should be messing with that hole. Get away from it. Basically.
Yeah.
And Dylan's like,
okay,
I love the way that he like kind of like looks scared of it after that then.
Yeah.
And he's like, like looking around and kind of trying to peer into it, but then it was like, it was
maybe
cute.
Not. Yeah. He's a good little actor.
Yeah, he was. I like Dylan.
And so at this point too, I think Liam and Ben are having a conversation of something of sorts. But
they're agreeing to meet Sarah.
Exactly, because he's saying that he wants to meet her.
Yep.
And so the dad from the neighboring house is cleaning his truck because obviously there was a dead fucking deer in it.
Yes.
And at that point, the mama Abby comes out with her baby, and that's whenever she drops something of the baby's.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was a pacifier, but like a teething ring.
A teething something, yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's going down to look at it, and she notices that the flowers are dead.
Yep. All of the plants around. And I feel like she almost sees the creature underneath.
Down there in the hole, hiding.
Because she's like looking into it, and she definitely sees something. But she can't tell.
At least.
Yeah. And then notices that all the plants around the house are dead, and the flowers are like actively dying.
And that's whenever we do have a cutting to the dad sending what's his face to go get some gluten-free bread, or I don't know, from the store.
Yeah, and Ben bargained with Dylan.
Oh, yeah.
Because Dylan, I think, was at the marina supposed to be taking some lessons or something. And Ben bargained with Dylan basically to tell him if he sees anything weird outside the house. Like, if you see anything, you got to let me know immediately, kind of thing, which is good and important and almost saves Dylan's life.
Yeah.
But doesn't. Not in the end.
Dylan is dead.
Dylan is dead, or he will be soon.
Justice for Dylan.
Justice for Dylan.
And so that's whenever we do have after that we're getting ready for the dinner with Sarah, and Dad sends him to go get the gluten-free bread or something because that's what Sarah
dinner
wants
rolls.
to eat. Yeah. And so Ben goes to the store, and that's whenever it's not even a store, it's like a little grocery.
It's a corner store.
Yeah. And so that's whenever why would they don't sell
they're not gonna have gluten-free bread there.
Rolls. Yeah. And so that's whenever he gets a phone call from his mom, and that's whenever she's like, I feel like you're forgetting about me.
Yeah. And she does that line that we said earlier.
Yeah.
And then she also says, I miss my boys. And at this point I thought she meant Dad and Ben.
Me too.
And I was like, oh, she misses them both.
Literally.
I was like, that sucks, because he's literally about to meet his new girlfriend.
And that's what they're playing to it the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this whole time, like, damn, Mom sounds so desperate, and she just wants
her family back together.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking, like, why would she miss the dad? Like, they're not together. Yeah. So at that point, I feel like it should have started. You don't know, but if you do know, like, that was a big, like,
indicator.
Yeah, because
it did not click for me at all, even on the second watch.
Yeah,
like I guess I completely forgot the ending of this film.
Twist, yeah,
except for I remember
it is saved for like the last like 15ish minutes of it.
Yeah, I do remember Mallory being there at the end. I remember that.
Gotcha.
But the whole Nathan's existence, no idea. Had no remembrance
that was probably
of it.
A good shock.
The demon lady worked on me.
Literally,
I even forgot him.
That's crazy. What if that happens every time you watch this movie? You forget the plot.
I wonder. I'm gonna go watch it tonight.
That'd be pretty funny.
See.
They enhanced it with the voodoo.
And then I'll listen back to this, and all this thread will be cut out.
One of the Pierce brothers. It's like one of the Pierce brothers sold their soul to the devil.
Yep. And he's working.
And the
magic.
other one sold his soul to God.
Huh. What a heavenly duo.
Could you imagine? That's a movie. Think about that.
A brother, and they're like, so we've got an angel and a demon brother.
Yeah, but like one sold their soul to the devil and one sold their soul to God.
Yeah.
But then they have to like, is that something already? Is that an anime?
No, but I was thinking it could be a cute. Well, I was thinking it could be a cute boy love if they weren't brothers.
Oh no!
Like between an angel and a demon.
Well,
demon. Now I'm sure that's already been done. No, that's gross.
And so it's probably been done.
Probably.
And so we do have as he's on the phone with his mom, and we get that big old hint and clue that some teenagers come in, and Mallory comes in, and she's like inviting Ben to go to a party, and she's
you want to go to a party?
Yeah.
Huh? Yes. No. Maybe. Yes.
She's really
yes.
not taking no for an answer.
She's not.
Yeah. And even when he's like, no, I got to go to this thing, she's like, okay, well, you're gonna come anyways.
Yeah. And she goes, okay. And then just kind of runs off. And then he, as they're about to pull off, he's like, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah.
And he runs up to them and jumps in the back of the truck and he's heading to the party.
Yep. Which also I'm like, how could he just like, he's just standing them up.
Yeah.
That's
and I was
rude.
like, dude, it was your idea.
Yeah. It just felt kind of rude.
Yeah.
But, you know,
he's a teenager.
He's a teenager. And we're going to let it slide, I guess. But there's, at this point, he ends up going to the party and he's there with all these, I guess,
underage drinkers.
And I'm just like, I guess towns kids, because I don't know if they're all vacationers or like what's the vibe. I don't know. But they all seem to know each other, but he doesn't know any of them.
At one point, Mallory does refer to that girl as like the town hoe or something.
Right. Okay. So I guess they all know each other and live there, and he's just the one out of towner, I guess. And so we do have all that happening, and then at a certain point, I will be honest, I think at this time I might or may not have like shut my eyes for like 5 seconds because it was late at night when I watched it. But I remember that I do see him he's talking to Mallory for a while, and they're just kind of like,
that's basically my next note too. There was just party stuff happening,
and they're talking and getting to know each other.
And she's like, "How'd you break your arm?" And he was like, his story was, I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that.
I don't remember it.
Oh, okay. Well, he basically broke it by jumping out of a second-story window because he had broken into his neighbor's house to steal Vicodin. And they came home in the middle of him being there, so he jumped out the window and then broke his arm. Yeah.
That is a doozy.
Yeah.
No, and it ties sense later on into his dad being like, we're going to take you to a rehab center.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, damn, that escalated quickly.
I know.
I was like, okay, I
didn't put that together until just now.
He has a problem, a pre-existing problem.
Yeah, he's just high.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, no. And then Mallory's he was like, okay, well, tell me your secret.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, Hannah Montana. And he was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I loved Hannah Montana. And he was like, I just told you that I broke into someone's house to steal Vicodin. And you're telling me Hannah Montana? And she was like, no, I wore a Hannah Montana wig like every day, like this orange wig for like all of 6th grade or something. And went by Dakota Star Crush was her name.
That's why he calls her Star Crush later. Okay.
Yep.
Get it. Got it.
And then they're having a nice moment where they're about to kiss. They're getting a little
cozy.
Yep. Oh, and she signed his cast too at first too.
Mm-hmm.
She signed his cast and she was like, oh, where am I going to fit my name? And then he was like, haha, because all that was on there was Ben.
Yeah.
But
that's not what was on there.
Wasn't what was on there. She was legitimately like, where am I going to fit my name? I thought she was just being an asshole.
Yeah.
And because, it's on brand for her.
Yeah.
But
then we get later why she said that.
Yep.
Yeah. And so at this point, they're about to kiss, but they don't kiss.
No, because he pukes.
That's right.
Instead,
Mm-hmm.
they're like leaning in and then he swerves and goes, bleh.
Not the way that you want to lead into a kiss.
No.
So she doesn't like that. I'm sorry because
for a good moment. Okay.
My next moment is though because they're still at the party because I just know that he gets invited by that girl to go to the pool.
Yes. So okay. We do have Dylan hearing movements. So at this point it flashes back to Dylan and their house, and then the pool thing happens. So we've got a little bit more time where Dylan's inside the house and he's hearing this movement happening and he gets scared and he goes to sleep with mom and dad because he's like, no.
I don't like this.
Yeah. And then the baby's crying on the monitor and the mom looks at the monitor and stuff and like doesn't see anything. And so she's like, okay, it's fine. But then all of a sudden you see these two eyes open in between the rails.
The crib.
Yeah. Of the
bars.
cribs. And it's like, ah.
Yeah.
But then we're back at the party and they're going skinny dipping. Dylan, no, not Dylan.
No, not Dylan. It's Ben and this little blondie girl who was one of the hoe, who is friends with all the other guys. The mean dudes who have been kind of bullying Ben this whole time.
Yep.
And so she invites him to go into the pool to skinny dip. He does go in there. He's like, I can't get my cast wet, but she does get him to go in there, and she takes off his underwear.
I know. I was so shocked by that.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus.
I was also like, how does one take off, like, because he would have to like, and then like
yeah.
It looked a little too effortless.
Yeah.
But anyways, she does take him off, and then poor thing, she ends up walking out of the pool, and just everybody comes and laughs at him, and he's naked, and that's pretty much what happened.
With no, and then they're making fun of his
pee-pee. I think they like the turtle dick or something like that, because I guess he's uncut. I don't know. But poor thing.
Who knows? And also, when you're in the water, it
makes your pee-pee smaller.
It doesn't like from the top the displacement like make things look smaller.
Oh, I guess I never even thought about it that way.
Or does it make them look bigger?
I don't know. Maybe it depends on what angle you're looking at. But I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
And so he's just humiliated. Everybody's laughing at him. He's like, y'all are a bunch of dicks. And then Mallory, I think Mallory is just like, well, okay. Because she's just looking at him like, damn.
Yeah.
But I feel like she was also like, that's kind of probably what you get for going with the hoe.
Yep. Should have stayed with me.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
And so that's whenever he leaves. But at this point.
This is where Dylan comes in to wake Mom.
Yeah. It cuts back over there to the other people. And Mom wakes up and she gets up to go check on the baby. But when she goes to check up on the baby isn't there. It's just a bunch of sticks. It's a bunch of. Never mind.
Are you gonna say the literal meaning of
the British version?
Yeah.
Of a bunch of sticks.
Yeah.
Never mind. And so Mom gets pulled under the fucking what's it called?
The crib. The
yeah.
thing just like eats her. You see like this blood oozing out or something, and then all of a sudden,
yep, she's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, it happens pretty fast.
It does.
But the witch doesn't. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, you guys. I broke. The witch doesn't waste any time. And so that's whenever Ben gets home and he starts walking to he sees her walking into the woods, right?
Yeah. He's about to go inside and he sees that Abby is walking into the woods, like holding
a baby.
The baby.
We don't really see it because she's walking backwards, I feel like, but you see like the blanket.
Yeah,
right?
you can tell she's carrying.
Yeah,
like a swaddled child.
Oh, she carrying. Yeah.
And but then that's when he gets inside because he asked his dad. He was like, "Did you see that lady?" And he was like, "What are you talking about?" And
because the dad's pissed.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, because Ben at this point has also, I guess because he had alcohol, he has forgotten completely that he was supposed to be there the whole time.
Yeah.
And having dinner with Sarah, meeting Sarah. And then he's like, oh, and I think the dad calls him out on it. And then Ben's like, what does he say? He's like, I don't want to eat some food made by some bitch you're sleeping with.
Yep. Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cold. Because then we just see like Sarah turning around being like,
I'm going to leave.
I'm just going to leave.
Yep. And I was like, oh shit, Sarah's still there.
Damn, it was cold. Poor Sarah. She honestly didn't deserve that.
No, she didn't.
No matter what she is, she didn't deserve that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
also now, I just really want some dinner rolls, like the ones that are at Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, those are really good.
Yeah, I just want some of those.
That made me think of the ones that would come. Really nostalgic memory of like Thanksgiving lunch at school, and they would give these rolls, and
you'd fill them with mashed potatoes.
And you wouldn't think that those rolls would be good because it's like a school like lunch cafeteria food.
Mashed potato sandwich.
Nothing tastes as good as those rolls. I remember those rolls. They were so like
they were good.
Crisp on the outside, but not like crunchy, but like just I don't know what that word is.
It had a nice browning.
Yes, but then so soft on the inside.
The crust.
And so that's whenever we get back to the movie, and Ben is acting out.
Yeah,
Ben is not having a fun time.
He's not.
He doesn't appreciate Sarah.
Nope.
And Sarah's leaving. And dad doesn't like it.
No.
Dad and Ben is just like, I'm going to bed. And dad is just like, no, you're the fuck not. But he can't really do anything because Ben just goes to bed, right?
Yep. And then we're next door, and mom comes home, and she's covered in dirt.
She's covered in
She's
all the dirt.
Completely covered, like head
And
to
dad
toe in
woke
dirt.
up late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad woke up late.
Other dad.
And
he ends up like trying to get ready for work really fast. We do see that Dylan is like doing some shit. I don't remember. He's downstairs.
Dylan was making himself breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. And then the mom is walking down the stairs, and she looks just fucking ragged. She looks beat. She looks dirty. She looks like she has been killing a child in the woods all night.
Yep.
And so that's whenever we do have her then kind of just coming right in front of Dylan when Dylan is sitting down and doing something, and the dad is rushing out that he doesn't even like really notice the way she looks, and he just kisses her, and he's like, you know,
ooh,
I'm
you need
leaving.
a shower. That's
yeah,
what he says,
that's right. He does smell her.
Stinking.
Yeah, he smells her.
Yep.
And he's like, you need a shower, and then he ends up running out the door.
And he was just like, Dylan, listen to mommy. And then he's gone.
And then we catch up with Ben at the docks.
Yep. And he is getting into what they call him yet another name. So then he goes and dumps trash in their boat.
Yep, that's right. Which is some pretty good teen retaliation.
Yep.
And we do also, I thought those little girls, I just thought it was weird that they were a part of it. I don't know, like they looked over into the boat, but I thought like that was gonna lead into something else. I thought they were like, I was like, oh,
gonna go tattletale, or he put it into the wrong. I thought he put it in the wrong boat at first, and those little girls were like, why did you just throw trash in our boat?
Literally, you can tell our father. And so that's whenever we do have the mom showering back at the house.
Yep.
And she looks
he looks bad.
Looks bad.
She looks bad.
It almost seems like her skin is peeling off, right?
Yes. Like it's burning.
Okay, gotcha.
Like lesions.
Exactly.
Or boils and stuff are all over her back. And Dylan's gone outside, looking in the little bunny pen.
And he I guess they're supposed to have two bunnies because he has one bunny and he's coming inside and he's like trying to tell his mom like, hey, there's one of the other bunnies is missing.
Yeah.
And mom is just naked.
Yep.
And standing at the other side of the room in front of the light.
At the top of the stairs.
Yeah. And then she just ends up running away from him.
It looked so weird. The way that she was standing too was like all like cockeyed and stuff, and it was just like, ugh.
Yeah, it's creepy.
What is wrong with your body?
He could even tell like there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Also, like, mom never stands in front of me butt naked.
Yeah, that's probably weird.
What is this?
Yeah, and so that's whenever I was like, she's moving weird with like 5Ds.
Yeah.
And so the dad, Liam, because we're now back, I believe, with Liam and Ben. He's kind of a dick. I don't know why, but I remember I wrote he's kind of a dick. But I guess he was just trying to get on to
yeah, he was being rude. He was trying to like finish up some work or something.
Yeah.
And Ben was like, I want to go home, and then Sarah pops her head in and he was like, you know what? Can I just have a ride home with you? And but I don't remember why dad was being a dick, but he was.
He was being a dick.
Yeah.
But he ends up catching
a ride.
He's catching a ride with Sarah. And so while he's catching a ride with Sarah, we do cut back to the other the house back with Abby and Dylan. And then I think at this point, for some reason I wrote there's something in the house. But it was like, oh, that's right. Duh. My bad. Sorry. So there's a whole car ride between Sarah and Ben. They're like kind of just whatever, burying the hatchet. We're going to start over. It's going to be okay between us. This is chill.
And she's vegan.
Yeah. Oh, and she's vegan. And she throws down in the kitchen, makes mad vegan food. Good for her. So this is whenever he gets home, I'm like, oh my God, there's something in the fucking house.
Yes.
Because he hears something. And that's whenever he does go upstairs.
He hears like footsteps upstairs and stuff.
But it's Dylan.
Bunny and Dylan. I love how the bunny was there too.
Yeah.
Dylan was like, nope, we're getting out of here. And he just goes and breaks and entering.
He's such a good kid.
Yeah, he did exactly what Ben had asked him to do. And he came to tell him when something
was going
wrong.
down. And that's whenever we do, like, kind of immediately we have the mom downstairs, like, being like, hey, hello. And Dylan tells Ben, like, don't let her in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Ben goes downstairs, and the mom is already, like, it seems like she's talking to someone already, but I guess it also seems like she's just talking out loud to anybody in the house, to him upstairs, because he responds to her, but it comes back later that, like,
she was actually talking
to someone else that was there that we don't see right now.
Yeah. And whenever he said, no, it's just us. I thought he was, like, trying to pretend like his dad was home.
Or I thought it, like, he meant, like, just us, like, as me and you, lady, like, no one, like, it's just us,
just
like,
us here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it can be interpreted in all those other ways to where it kind of threw us off.
Yeah.
And so she's, like, really trying to get in, though, and he's like, nah. And so, because she even tries to, like, push the door open, and he's like, I don't think you should come in here. And she's like, you stupid little boy,
you are a very stupid boy.
Yeah. And he's like, lady, I am 17, and you need to get off my porch.
I'm a man.
Oh yeah. And because first he's like, I'm a man, and he bucks up to her, and then she's like, I will. What did she say? Like, she says something really, like,
oh, I don't know.
She says something like, I will break your other arm and, like, rip it off.
Oh yeah, she does say
like
something at one point about breaking,
like,
his
really,
other arm.
really violent. And then he's like, I'm 17. You need to get off my porch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so as she's trying to get in there, though, we do see that her husband comes home, the other dad, and he's like, what the fuck is going on here? And Dylan runs out, and he's like, dad, hey, whatever. Yeah. And at this point, I'm like, ugh.
No.
Ugh. Yeah, because it's only going to get worse from here. Yeah. Because she is still crazy, possessed, and the dad is just like, okay, well, we're gonna go home now. And Dylan doesn't say anything to the dad about the mom being hella fucking weird right now. Yeah. He doesn't, not at this moment. Even at this moment, I would have been like, look at her. She's being hella weird. Look at her. She's over here acting like talking completely deadpan. Yeah. And just no inflection. The inflection's all wrong. Yeah. So she's not being herself. This is not who we know. Yeah. And so they end up getting back to the house, and I think at this point we cut back to Ben's dad, and he's smoking in the office of the marina place, but it's really quick because he tries to pretend like he's not smoking because what's her name comes in. Yeah, and then she finds that her bag is filled with strawberry and cherry starburst. Yeah, which is just kind of adding to, like, the character arc of, like, Mallory and Ben's love, and then also I guess we needed to know that Ben's dad is a secret smoker. I don't know. And so we do. I love how she's even like, don't bother me. It won't kill me. Yeah. Yeah. And so, because she's not a dumb person. And so we do have the mom being weird as fuck, I believe, still back at the house. Yeah. Dad is tucking Dylan in now. Oh yeah, and he's trying to tell him, like, hey, I think mom is being weird. Yeah, and he was like, you should have seen her at Burning Man. Yeah, mommy's plenty weird all the time. And I love how the mom was just there, like, in the background. Yeah. What'd you fucking say? What'd you say, little kid? I'm gonna kill you. Literally. And so that's whenever what happens? Ben, I don't know. Dad goes downstairs after he tucks Dylan in, and he looks into the nursery, but it's fucking empty. Yeah. It's completely emptied out. Uh-huh. And I was like, he doesn't question that, but at this point she's already using her witchy magic on him, and has already gotten rid of all of everything. The baby stuff. They don't remember that there is a baby. Mm-mm. And then this is where Ben is watching the parents get into it. With the binoculars. Yep. At the same time, he gets a call from Mallory. Yeah. And so he's like trying to spy on the neighbors. Like, this movie's getting good. Yeah. And I was like, ew. Don't watch them have sex. He's watching them do it. But then he gets... Also, close your windows. He gets thrown off because his dad, like, turns on the lights and is like, hey, Ben, you home? Or something like that. And so it throws him off. But... as he goes back to look at the other house, they're not there anymore in frame. So that's gone. But we do see that the mom and the dad are fucking. And she we see like a mirror shot basically of her on top, and like her back has like these lesions and like oozing. It looks really gross. And he even like tries to like rub on her back, and she like moves her hand,
she pulls it
put
off
his hand
so
back
fast,
down, yeah, so he doesn't feel it. And then at this point, we knew that she's given him the like witchy
Shavudu clam.
Yeah, so Shavudu clam, yeah, and so you know he's gonna be bewildered, or what's those bewitched, there you go. Bewildered, good lord. Bewitched and bewildered, isn't that a thing? I feel like that's a thing, or a book. It's written somewhere.
I believe you.
And so at this point, we do have the next day, I think Ben is sleeping in a canoe because he was tired because he didn't get any sleep from the night before.
Yes, and he was waiting for Dylan to show up for his lessons.
Oh, that's right.
And he wakes up because Mallory wakes him up, and he was like, "Where's Dylan?" And she says, "Well, he no-showed. You're fine.
Yeah.
You don't got to worry about it." And he was like,
"Oh, nope.
I got to go right now.
That's a reason to worry."
Yep.
And so he ends up leaving, and he goes to try to look for Dylan. And then at this point, he goes to the house, and he's like knocking on the door, and the dad answers, and the dad's like, "I don't have a son."
Yeah. He's like, "Where's your son? He didn't show up for his lessons today." And he was just like, "What son? Is this a joke? Like, I don't have any kids."
Yeah, because we obviously know like he does, but at this point he's acting like you said, like it's a prank.
Yep.
And so he's kind of getting frustrated with Ben at that point, and then Ben just like, "Okay, well, never mind." I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
he was just like, "Okay, well, there's no getting through to this man." Basically.
So the dad closes the door when he walks in, and then somehow Ben ends up moving the map below him, or the door ends up moving it just enough for him to notice something below it, and he notices that it's the same little symbol.
Marking, same little symbol with the V wearing a little hat.
And so that's whenever he ends up leaving, and then he ends up looking all of this stuff up, and we get like a little montage like we do in movies where like we're learning about what we're dealing with.
Yep. Its symbol brings up like this hag looking woman. It refers to her as the Dark Mother as well, and says that she feasts upon the forgotten. Yeah. And
she's made of root, rock, and tree.
Yep.
And basically, like you said, she feasts on the forgotten. Her whole shtick is like invading a family and making them forget about their children, and then eating the children, or killing them. I don't even know if she eats them, but she just takes their souls essentially. And so we do have Mallory at this point. Mallory is at his place, and they're talking, and he is watching the neighbors, and she's like, "Your neighbors," she's kind of making fun of him.
Yeah.
Ragging
she
on
doesn't
him.
see the seriousness in the situation, because she's,
she doesn't,
it sounds crazy.
No. Yeah, exactly. And at this point he's like, there's a child's life in danger.
I would have taken him a little bit seriously if he was pretty convinced that a child was in danger. I'd be like, okay, like if you told me that, I would believe you.
Yeah. But she also doesn't know him.
That's true. They did only meet
a few days ago, or like 2 days ago, essentially. Yeah. But I don't know. You're right. I don't know. I feel like us too, though. I feel like we
have more common sense than movie people.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
And so I think we're more aware of things. But anyways,
it's easy to, when you're at the outside perspective, to see all the sides.
That is also true. And we're also not, I also am trying to think of like teenage me. Like, what would teenage me do? I don't know. But I feel like I would also know. I don't know. But okay. So they're going through this whole stuff. She's ragging on him. He is putting salt at the door to like make a barrier. Of course, we saw this in Hocus Pocus. It, protects and wards off evil spirits.
You need a salt circle for everything.
Squidward, SpongeBob, come on.
Yeah.
The sea bear.
Supernatural.
And so
everything.
At this point, we see Abby coming out with a bag, and at this one I'm thinking, oh my god,
I thought Dylan
is
Dylan.
In the bag.
I thought it was
Dylan is in the bag. His corpse is in the trash bag,
and then she just put him in the
cellar.
into the
right?
little. She puts them in a trash can.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's just doing. Yeah,
and I was like, oh my god, Dylan's
and
corpse.
at this point, we get a little like jab from Mallory because she's like looking at his computer and he was searching on Wikipedia. I thought that was funny,
yeah. And I was like, is that real? I want to look it up.
Same.
I bet you it is. There's
Probably.
Murderpedia and stuff. So it probably is real.
If there's a wiki, there's a witchy.
That's true.
And so she ends up leaving, but as she's leaving, because Mallory is this type of person and she's that kind of girl, she ends up
that girl.
Which I'm just like, Mallory is one of those type of people like either becomes like a CEO, like a boss, like a bad bitch, or gets themselves killed.
Yeah.
Because she ends
one or
up
the other, very fine line.
Going to this house,
one singular choice will make this decision. Leaving a note
underneath their door, and she sends him a silly little text, and I love how she just like poke the bear, and it's like a little silly emoji, little winky emoji. Yeah, literally. And the note that she sent them was just like, we know what's hiding in what you got in your cellar.
Yeah,
with
we
the
know
little
what's in your cellar.
Funky
and
looking
a little
monster.
Witch
Yeah, witch. Yeah. And so he ends up, the dad ends up the dad finds a note and he ends up going to try to open the cellar. But the mom comes and performs some more witchy voodoo on him. My bad.
But she whispers in his ear basically to make him forget.
Yeah. But his ear starts bleeding. Probably painful.
Yeah.
I feel like she put worms in him.
Maybe it's the actual memories leaking out of him.
Ooh, like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But instead of like that little wispy little white thing, little
that they pull
white
out.
cum that comes out of their wispy cum, it's like blood. And so that's whenever we do cut to Sarah at the docks at this point, and that's whenever she is doing something in the building, and we do see that Abby is like, we see her flash like in one of a window.
Yeah.
Like she's standing outside, but we only see it for like a figment for like a second. And then it cuts to Mallory walking in and she's like, hey, Sarah, like I'm gonna lock up. It's okay. Bye, deuces. And Sarah's like, okay, cool. Bye. And so at this point we do know like it's giving the vibes of like, okay, well, Abby is after Mallory now.
Yeah. And it felt like she was targeting her. Mm-hmm. And we see at this point that she's stolen a photo, which we had seen earlier. It kind of very briefly panned in on it, and you could tell that the photo that was missing was the photo of Mallory and her sisters.
Lily.
Yeah.
There were two sisters on there.
There were.
Why did she go after that one then?
I don't know.
That's weird. How did they pick?
Or maybe the other one was just a random kid.
Could have been. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And not actually like her sister.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Or she forgot all about that sister too.
Maybe.
She was already dead.
They were twins.
Maybe.
It was a 2-for-1.
Twofer.
My throat got so dry.
Drink you some waters.
Okay, and so at this point, she takes that picture. We see her leave with, we don't see her leave with that, but we see it gone.
Yeah.
And so that's whenever we do have. You also saw that man with the dog at the end of the dock, right?
Yes.
I see him there, and I remember to see him later on.
Yeah.
Is there a significance to that?
I think it's the shop owner.
Oh.
And that dog.
Oh, okay. That ends up helping later on. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I think he just, once he closes up shop, he goes and sits by the dock and fishes.
With his dog.
Yep.
Can I pet that dog? And so we do see.
Or maybe he's like security too.
It could be. Yeah. He's all in one. He's got to protect his shit. And so at this point, we do go over. Is it Ben that finds all of Dylan's stuff in the trash?
Yes. Yeah. Ben finds all of the kids' stuff in the trash. It's got like photos of the baby and everything, and like toys, like
the nursery shit.
There's like a PSP or some shit in there.
Yeah, some good stuff.
Yep. And Dad's like basically a zombie mowing the grass.
Yeah, Dad is walking
just
weird.
Like, whoa.
It's giving very Walking Dead.
Yes.
And mindlessly doing that, Mallory is also texting Ben, and her texts are kind of cringe.
Yes, they were.
I don't know why, but it just felt very like pick me girl.
Yes.
But at the same time as Dad is doing all of that, the Dark Mother is showering. I like that name actually, Dark Mother.
Mother.
The Dark Mother is showering, and she is basically checking the flesh of Abby in the mirror, and it's like peeling off, and it seems at this point like this vessel is rejecting her.
Dead.
Yeah, because she ends up pulling a tooth out as well.
Yeah, pulls a tooth out, the eyes sagging. She like pulls the skin down. So
really good effects.
Yeah, it was. It looked gross.
And it wasn't CGI. Like it looked like they did that, like, like effects
with some like makeups.
Yeah. And so Ben is putting down more salt around his house.
The whole house.
And it's real funny because he's doing that, and we see Abby then going outside, and then she starts walking towards him. And
she made a beeline right towards him.
Literally, because it's so fast. I'm assuming that he finished putting the salt down, but like...
I don't think he did.
Oh, okay, because I was like, it did nothing.
Yeah. I don't think he had gotten all the way around the house yet. I think he was close, but she was able to go right in. And...
she leaves the note under his door.
Yes.
Yeah. So like kind of basically taunting him, essentially.
And he's being so not discreet about watching them now.
No, not at all.
Like from whenever he's out up there and stuff, he's just blatantly
watching.
Just kind of watching.
Yeah. And so that's whenever we do have Ben breaking into their cellar.
Goes to cut it open.
Because they do leave for a moment for some reason. She leaves and the dad leaves. Somehow, I don't know, or maybe the dad's still there.
I think they're in the house still.
Oh, okay.
But he just is being secretive.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so he ends up breaking into the cellar, and he ends up finding like a shrine.
Yep.
Essentially, which has
a little altar and
all the pictures with this like
dad's crossed out again, all that stuff, and it reminded me of in The Ritual.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Is that the one?
Yes,
there were pictures in that one.
Well, not pictures, but the twig stick figure of motor.
That was upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of that because it was a bunch of twigs and stuff making this one too, and then it have a deer mask on it as well.
Very Wicker Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that.
Almost a little Blair Witch product.
Blair Witchy a bit too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he ends up finding all of this, finding the pictures of the family, of his family, right? Of him being marked out, or someone's dad being marked out. I think it's his dad marked out, or the dad of this family being marked out.
The dad of Dylan's dad.
And then he ends up finding a picture of Mallory and her sister, and he sees that her sister is kind of marked out of it. So he ends up calling Mallory, and he's like, she's after Lily. And then Mallory at this one is like, what the fuck?
Who's Lily?
Literally. And he's like, fuck, it's too late. And so she already took Lily. And so this is whenever he is trying to like get to Lily because she's at the park with Mallory. But as soon as he gets there, this douche picks the fight with him because it's obviously he was trying to, pick a fight with him because he had put that trash in his dad's boat.
Yeah.
And then like it ends up turning into a brawl, and then Sarah tries to come break it up, but then he runs off trying to go save Lily because Abby took her into the woods. And so when he gets into the woods, he ends up finding the tree that we saw earlier with like that went into the ground, has a hole in it, and Lily is there, and she's like getting dragged to hell. And so he's trying to save her, but he can't do it, and he pulls so hard, like when you're pulling something you like fall back,
and then all of a sudden the tension breaks, and his head goes onto a little rock perfectly, and then whenever he awakes,
he ends up the
tree's gone.
It's gone, it's nighttime. He is essentially like kind of out of it a little bit, and he ends up walking home, and at this point the neighbor is out there just watching him, right? The dad is just out there, and then he walks inside, and he's in trouble because the cops are there.
Cops are there talking with dad.
He was missing obviously for some sort of time. He didn't come home.
Dad believes that he's crazy, like not believing him, and this is where he really jumps the gun and is just like, you're crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna take you to a rehab center and facility and all this. Are you on drugs?
Yeah,
because Ben is going off on then a tangent of like, she took Lily, like Lily's dead, like this. She took Dylan, she took the kids, and the dad obviously doesn't know anything about any of this, so he's just like, this sounds like a bunch of crazy mumbo jumbo. What's going on?
And like the whole reason the cops are there is because Ben broke into their house.
Yeah.
They had evidence
It's
of
true.
him breaking in, and so they called the police on him in order to
Forgot
try
about
and
that.
get him from
Forgot about that.
spreading any ideas about these kids being missing.
Yeah, and the dad isn't listening to him, so all this is going on, and I love how even Sarah was just like, I'm just gonna give y'all a minute. But she ends up going to the kitchen, and as the police are talking to the dad outside, she is talking to Ben, and then it's then that we realize that this is not even Sarah.
Because she's pouring cream into her coffee, and she's a vegan.
Yep.
And that's when Ben realizes
that she has been possessed by the Dark Mother.
Yep. And then he realizes that the flowers are dying. And then so he attacks Sarah.
Salt attack.
Salt, and then with a knife as well.
Yeah, he ends up stabbing
gets her arm.
Slashes her arm. Very a la Scream.
Yep.
And obviously she's screaming. She gets to the floor, and the Dark Mother is putting on a really good show of making it seem like he is crazy and he attacked her, Sarah, and she was helpless. And even the dad's like, well, what the fuck now?
You just attacked my girlfriend.
And the cops are already there. So it's just like, all right, well, we're going to take him down to the station.
Yeah.
But before we can do that, Miss Dark Mother, badass Sarah herself, has gotten to apparently everybody, the EMTs, the cops, the paramedics. I'm sure she got to the fire station. I'm sure she probably got to whoever else was waiting out there around.
She whispered in all their little ears
and put a little magic spell on them.
Yep.
So we do see her doing it physically to an EMT, but we do find out here in a minute that she did it to the cop who is driving Ben to the station, because he's supposed
to be driving him to the station because we see the blood dripping from his ears, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, we're not going to the station. We're not going to the station.
And so the dad is supposed to meet him at the station, but before he can leave, Sarah's like, I need a drink.
Yeah. And all the while Ben was getting pulled off, he was like, Dad, just check their basement, their basement, and you'll believe me, just check it. And so thankfully Dad believes him just a little bit enough to stay. But Sarah's like, give me a drink.
And he's kind of like, the fuck? But he's like, okay.
You can have this wine.
Yeah. And he's like opening for her, and he's about to leave. He's like, okay, I really got to go now. And she's like grabbing him, and she's like trying to flirt with him and kiss him. And she's like, no, just stay.
Just stay.
And then he's like, I've got to go. And then
the love wasn't strong enough to hold her, to bewitch him.
And so he ends up leaving. And so but before he goes to a station or anything like that, he ends up going into the neighbor's cellar.
Yep.
Because he's going to try to look and see for himself. But at the same time that's happening, we also are cutting to Ben being driven by this cop, and he's getting driven to what we think is supposed to be the station, but it is not.
It's actually the waterfront.
The waterfront of and the lake of whatever this place is that they're at or whatever.
Yep. And then the cop drags Ben out of the car and then starts drowning him.
Yeah. Which
puts him on the water's edge and just holds like his head under.
His dream from the beginning.
Yep.
And so that's whenever, right? Or wait, no, it wasn't even a dream. That was 5 days ago. That's right. And now we're cut to here.
Yeah.
Now we're here. Exactly. And so, so he ends up, whatever this is all happening, is getting drowned. And then that's whenever we do have, it seems like he's dead. It seems at this point, like, I actually kind of thought like, oh damn,
Ben's dead.
They're gonna kill him. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right.
I figured he wasn't dead, but that's probably also because I'd seen this before. So
yeah, so you knew what was coming.
Yeah, a little bit.
I kind of thought he was for a whole second.
He did stop moving. I thought he was at least unconscious.
I thought maybe for a whole second it was going to shift then into like a Mallory trying to figure this out type of situation.
Yeah, which would have been kind of fun.
I was like, that might have been cool.
Yeah.
But who knows? And so Ben is not dead. He ends up coming back to life because something strikes. What is it?
The dog.
The dog barking or something.
Yeah.
But he comes back too. And this dog is attacking the cop who is then drowning him. And so poor dog, because anytime there's a dog in a horror movie, they have to die.
Yeah.
He ends up getting shot.
Well, I don't think he dies though.
Oh, no. Right. Because he's at the end.
He's at the end.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
But he does end up getting shot by the cop.
Yeah.
And then the cop tries to shoot. Or it's like kind of like he's trying to fight the power that's over him, and so it's like he's gonna shoot Ben, but he ends up just shooting himself.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of trauma for Ben. But anyways,
it is. But this is where we then get Dad going to check in the basement. He gets in there and realizes there's nothing in there, but then he sees was about to. Yeah, he got all the way down.
Up, yeah.
And then he's coming back up the stairs and he sees zombie dad wandering into this like side house thing.
It looked like a garage.
Yeah, a little garage.
With like a little apartment on top.
Yeah. And so he follows the dad in there basically. And we see the symbol drawn on the door as well. And then he follows the dad up there. We find the mom's corpse sitting there.
Yeah. She's
just
dead.
Torn up. Like it had come out through her stomach. And we
very
see,
like Alien.
Yeah. And then we see the dad hanging in the background.
Yeah, he took his life.
Yep.
All in that time that it took the dad just to walk upstairs.
I know. I was like, man, he
Pretty
really
fast.
worked quickly.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
And so then,
unless that was just a ghost
wandering.
But
that was him.
Dad was dead the whole time and it was just a ghost.
And and obviously Liam, Ben's dad, is just kind of like, oh, what the fuck? And so he then goes and he starts seeing that he sees the shrine, the altar.
Yep.
He also sees the pictures. But then from behind, he gets stabbed by Sarah.
Yep.
Sarah stabbed him.
Sarah stabbed
him so hard, he fell down and he ended up knocking down the whole altar. And it caught on fire.
It did.
It did. A blaze.
It did. What? My notes say get stabbed by drag in the deer skull. What does that mean?
Because I don't know.
In the deer, maybe it was meant to be. Did she stab him with the deer skull?
The deer skull, yeah.
Okay, and maybe it was meant to be get stabbed by Sarah with the deer skull.
Probably,
but it autocorrected by drag in the deer skull.
Not by drag.
By drag.
Death by drag.
Death by drag.
Whatever what Republican fears.
Tennessee believes.
Literally. And so that's whenever we do have the fire starting. And so everything kind of catches on fire and flames. And the dad is trying to get away from Sarah.
Sorry to Tennessee. I know that so many of you don't believe that.
Yeah.
Sorry. It is just the Republicans.
It's the parties that be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you know who you are.
I couldn't let Tennessee
shame all of Tennessee.
No.
Tennessee.
One of my besties lives in Tennessee.
Aw, thanks
Max
for listening.
You met Max.
Yeah,
Max
that's
said
right.
it on the Midsummer episode.
That's funny.
Yep.
And so we do have Dad stumbling down the stairs. He ends up getting out. And at this point, he gets to the bottom of the garage area, but he's getting attacked by Sarah.
Yep.
And they're fighting. And at this point, I think even like the demonic witchy hand even comes out of her real hand because she's trying to get to him.
Yeah, he hit her with a shovel and shit.
He's putting up a good fight.
The creature like starts coming out from her arm because she's choking him.
Yeah.
She's like sitting there choking Ben's dad.
It's very xenomorph. I keep mentioning Alien and then like a little extra mouth coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was so fucking gnarly how the arm just split open and then a second hand starts protruding from like the forearm. Really cool, I was like, woo, that was cool. Yeah. And then right in the nick of time.
That's whenever we have Ben showing up strapped and he shoots Sarah
right in the face.
Yeah.
And then a few times in the chest as well.
Really takes care of that.
Yep. He double tapped it.
And so he and Dad is like, oh my God, they're getting like, he's like trying to help him up, and it doesn't take long because that body starts moving and the she-beast Dark Mother herself starts coming up out of the
Sarah's
body. Yeah. Which is pretty scary.
Yep.
So they end up running. They end up going into
the
car. That's right. And they're about to leave, and that's whenever we do see like everything's on fire. And at this point, how is it that we find out about the brother?
So basically he has this sinking feeling and he's like, we can't leave.
Yeah.
He was like, Nathan, oh my God, I have a brother.
Yeah, that's right. And then we get a flashback of all the times throughout the movie where like at the bus.
The old lady was talking to Nathan saying, you're quite the little artist. And then with the Connect 4, the kid was there with
the stairs and Abby.
Yep. And then with the mom saying,
I miss my boys.
She was referring to
Nathan.
Yep. And not just
Ben.
Yep.
A plot twist. So Ben had a brother the whole time, and just like everybody else in the movie, he was forgetting that he had a brother this whole time.
Yep.
And he just remembers just in time because that's how love works. And he's like, I'm going back for Nathan.
Yep.
So
he runs towards the tree.
Going to go find his brother. He ends up, I think Mallory even shows up at this point, and she's like, where the fuck is Lily? And I thought also at this point, how is she remembering her sister? But
yeah.
Okay. Because she's like, where's my sister?
Maybe because the hag had been injured.
Maybe.
Or something. That's my only guess.
But he's like, okay, you know what? Plan. I'm going to go over here. You put a salt circle around the tree. I'm going to go down there and rescue our siblings. If I don't come up in 10 minutes, burn us all.
Yeah. He had started pouring the gasoline on it first. And I was like, is burning the tree where all the kids are a good idea?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
And then he was like, if I don't come back in 10 minutes, burn us all. I was like, oh, okay.
But then I was also like, okay, I don't know about that either.
That's, also really intense. But yeah. So then Ben goes into the lair.
Yeah.
And he thankfully finds Nathan. And, it's real nasty down there. It kind of reminded me of It.
That it reminded me of Stranger Things a little bit.
Yeah, with the upside down.
But very It, yeah. If you want to take it even further to classic, It is very much like that.
Or Headless Horseman.
Oh, Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow.
Yes.
And it could also be like Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yep.
Oh, R.I.P.
Such a good film.
She dies at the end.
Oh.
She gets shot.
Yeah.
By Nazis.
Sorry, I thought I was like Del Toro.
No, it's a little girl. I only just watched that movie like a few months ago.
Oh, for the first time?
For the first time ever.
Oh, wow. So good. This gave me nightmares
yeah,
so much.
that's why I didn't watch it. That's why I didn't watch it.
So
and
creepy.
I thought he was a good guy, but he was a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, or well, not bad guy, but like
just a pawn.
A monster.
Yeah, a monster.
Yeah. Anyways, so this movie, he goes down there. He finds Nathan, but now they're trying to escape because he's got Nathan.
He sends him off alone, and I was like, "Ooh, maybe not a
the
good
best
idea."
But they end up, they're back together, and at a certain point, we do hear something, and then it's like, "Who's that?" And it's the Dark Mother, and she pops up, and she's like really scary and all up in their face.
Yeah, well, before that too, we even see her after he sends him off alone. We hear something, and we look over, and she's eating Dylan. R.I.P.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she was eating him, and you could tell it was him because he had all his little band-aids on his knuckles like he always did. And I was like, poor Dylan.
Gone.
But then yes, that's when they're going to escape more, and he
Ben
just
gets
basically
snatched up.
Yeah, they're right at the entrance, but Ben gets
act up, snatch up. Yep, and he ends up getting taken out by the Dark Mother, and Ben is dead. And so at this point, no, I'm just kidding. He gets kind of sucked up by her, but he ends up shooting her essentially, or does something, but he gets let go. And so then that's whenever he is able to then run with Nathan, or not run, but crawl, and then get all the way to the exit with Nathan. He puts Nathan up, gives him to Mallory. He then heroically
Lily coughing.
Here's Lily and doesn't leave her, and he goes back for her and goes and gets her, and she's like, we got to get out of here. And before he can get her out, he starts getting attacked again by the Dark Mother.
Yeah, because she wades up behind him through the water and stuff.
And she is able to then blind the Dark Mother by doing like a flash photography type of moment.
Yep. And then he acts quickly and stabs her with an antler.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that kind of stops her a little bit. So he's able to then get Lily out. Then he is able to almost get out. But
I was the moment I saw him, I was like, boy, move your foot.
Yeah.
Move your goddamn foot. And then all of a sudden it was like, yank. And I was like, told you.
Of course, she's got that last hold on him. And
you always got to make sure you're completely out. Like if I got out of that situation, I would be in a fetal. Like my knees would be up to my chest so fast.
Like away
rolling.
From it.
Yeah. It would have been a little ball.
Yeah.
And I would have never stopped. Never stopped.
Same.
Well, I guess I would have had to burn the tree. I would have been like, yoink.
That's scary, though. I can't imagine myself in this situation.
Yeah.
I feel like I would want to throw a few punches, though.
Well,
I would just want to fight the Dark Mother.
You got a good stab with an antler.
And so he ends
a few
up
gunshots.
Getting held back by the Dark Mother. But beep, 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 beep.
Nickelodeon. Dad comes in
to the rescue, and he's just like coming full throttle.
Runs her in with the car.
And we go to a black screen.
Yep.
Yeah, because at this point, it's just like, whoop, whatever, that's it.
And then we see Mallory going into a therapy appointment.
She's talking to a therapist
of sorts.
Because we get kind of that with the voiceover of them talking.
Yeah.
And she's asking her questions essentially of like, you know, a lot of people died. How are you? Are you okay?
Lily's obviously gonna
be
traumatized. Yeah. And Lily was mentioning some sort of tree, and then the therapist was like, do you know what tree she's talking about?
Yeah.
And Mallory goes, tree? No.
Must have been in her nightmares.
Must have been in her nightmares. And it was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's not good.
And at this point, we do know that Ben is heading back home. His whole family is there. Like, the mom is hoping to take him back home as he goes to say goodbye to Mallory on the docks. We do see that before that, though. My bad. She went into the marina office building, and there were like get well flowers and like cards and stuff, and she ends up putting one of the flowers in her hair. And then as she's on the dock, he goes up there to say goodbye.
Yep. And we see the doggy lived.
Oh yeah,
the doggy's sitting down there with that man. Yay. Or is it a completely different doggy?
I don't know,
but it looked like it had something wrapped around its tummy this time, like it got shot, and it was a little bandage. Yeah.
And so they're having this awkward little end off. It's dumb. It's whatever. It's like very like, are we gonna kiss? Are we not? But they do end up kissing. He calls her star crush. She's like, don't forget about me.
Which it was like, ooh, because that's Dark Mom's whole thing.
Yeah. Don't forget about me, literally. Yep. And so she puts the little fake plant in his hair, and he ends up going into the car. After they say goodbye, the mom is like talking to them. She's like, oh, she's pretty.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of, and then she gets into a boat because she's taking some kids out to go do whatever she does with kids, like in the boat on the lake that I'm sure they do their little lessons and stuff. But as he's in the car,
the flower's fake.
The flower is fake. So it's like not saying it, but it's implying a lot that like the Dark Mother is now in Mallory.
Yeah.
And
especially whenever we get our ending scene with it just panned in on her face.
And yeah.
And she's got this little smirk going. Like, and it's like, oh, nope.
And
she's still there
eating these kiddos.
And I was like, ew, he kissed a hag.
Whoops, my bad.
He kissed a...
That's loud. Yeah, he did.
Gross old lady and a dead body, basically.
And that is 2019/20.
The Wretched.
The Wretched.
Yep. How many boos would you give this film? That hard, yeah.
I would give this film 2 stars.
2 boos.
2 boos. I'm so sorry. It took me out of it. It's the like I want to like it, and I want to like, you know, this movie actually did pretty well. It made 4.4 million, and it took 66,000 to make.
Wow.
And it came out in 2020 though, unfortunately, during the pandemic, and it was only in select theaters, and they were drive-ins, and then it went to streaming, like video on demand. But it still did pretty good. But I feel like my whole thing with it is it's a really good concept. I feel like there are just certain things where it could be elevated, and it could be like a rated R movie as opposed to like feeling more like made for teens ish. Yeah. I don't know, because I still feel like it's still TVMA ish.
Yeah,
but it's not necessarily PG-13. But there are just certain things where I feel like the writing, the direction, the plot, it could have
felt a little juvenile.
Yeah. It felt like an idea that needed more time to be like sanded out
and really fleshed out
and made into a better idea.
Yeah.
But I only give it 2 stars because I know that there are other movies that have been on this that we've reviewed that I've given higher boos, but I keep saying stars, boos. And they were better than this.
But they were also made for teens.
But I gave them like a 2.5 or 3. No, I don't know.
Well, like, I mean, you've got, like, clearly you're not just biased against this stuff I am.
Or like the Fear Street things or stuff like that.
I was going to say, because Fear Street
if that was compared
juvenile.
to this, but like, it was so much better
it was
than
done
this.
well.
It was a really good story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So it's
two boos. I'm
boos.
sorry.
That's okay. That's
For the
where I
Wretched.
land as well.
2 boos. Because it's not bad by any means.
It's not.
It's not horrible.
No.
I just also
I watched it once and then forgot that I watched it. And
that kind of speaks a lot.
Yeah, I think it does. Mm-hmm. And then it took me a little bit of time into the movie to be like, oh, wait, I've seen this. Mm-hmm. And then I think I remembered going, I don't really want to watch this again. But
yeah.
But I did.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm not less of a person because of it. I thought it was still a fine, easy horror film to watch, I feel like, for most people.
This is a horror film good to give to someone who maybe doesn't like horror films too much.
Yeah.
It's got a good spook to it. I feel like just enough. I don't know. Maybe the dark mother coming out of the people's bodies might be a little too scary for some people.
Yeah,
I could definitely.
I was
gonna
say it could get a little gory. It's maybe a little too gory for some people's taste.
Yeah.
Or just with the
parts.
skin moving too.
That's
it
true.
could just maybe make some people a little queasy or something. But overall, I really don't think it was that bad of a film. It's just not one that I want to go watch every single day.
Yeah.
And that I'm going to talk about for years to come. Because
I feel that.
Maybe
even with the plot twist.
Maybe that's the Dark Mother's curse, is just no one remembers this movie.
It's left my memory already.
Yeah.
No, but even with the plot, I feel like the twist with him having a brother at all kind of, even when I look back at it now, my life, it's just it started off when I'm just kidding. It feels very much like you said something earlier, formulaic and very predictable.
Yeah.
So you could kind of see already where things were heading.
They're making, it's not one that you have to think too hard about.
Yeah. See, things where I feel like this is, if it would have been one of those movies or one of those games where it's you choose what happens next, certain points where they should have killed Ben.
Yeah.
He should have drowned.
Yeah.
And then it would have then added even more stakes or something interesting to the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
When a main character dies, you have it hurts so good kind of thing where you have to then,
if I were to make movies, I would make movies where every main character dies 25 minutes in.
Oh, well then people would know and they wouldn't get attached to your characters.
I don't know. But it's just one movie. That's it. But yeah. Anything else?
Solid 2.
Yeah.
No.
Just nope.
Solid. Not really.
Well, once again, we're in the lovely Rogue Media Network studios. They
That's right.
take really great care of us.
And you can listen to us and all the other lovely podcasts on
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
That's right.
Yes.
Or the other 2 biggest podcast platforms being
Spotify
and also Apple. But wherever you do listen, don't forget to
rate, review, like, and subscribe.
That's right, because that is the only way we can get ahead in this world. And then if you would like to reach out to us, let us know your thoughts on The Wretched if you watched it and forgot about it. Or if you didn't forget about it and you really loved it, let us know your thoughts on that too. I'm open to hearing some other opposing thoughts.
Yeah.
But you can do that on our one social media platform, which is Instagram, and that is at
BooBaes Podcast, at BOOBAES Podcasts. Because we're your BooBaes, not your BooBabes.
That's right. And until next time, you guys.
Bye, baes.
Oh, wait,
what'd I do?
Just kidding.
We got one more thing.
So we're doing a month of Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
that's why we watched this movie.
This movie was on Netflix, so it's easy for you to watch.
We're going to try to do Netflix original content, but it might not be a Netflix original movie, just something that is on Netflix.
Available for you to watch on Netflix. Yeah. Because I know that we'll be covering Lights Out, which is coming to Netflix.
April 11th.
Yeah. So that'll probably be one of the last episodes.
And then the link in the Tall Grass we'll be covering as well.
In the Tall Grass, and then one other film that I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
But in the Tall Grass, which we'll be doing a collaboration on, with Mason and his new podcast. So
and we're really excited about it.
Yep. So look forward to this month of Netflix. Yeah. And so now, for real, until then.
Bye, baes.
Bye, baes.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.